Yeah. Anyway,
Who
hello.
knows? You sort it out in the edit, Chris.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
I'm
Hey
sure
there.
it will.
It's another Monkey Monday.
It is. It is. And what are we talking about today, Chris?
We're talking about, well, how you can work with your team on creative projects, because we, excitingly, have started our new website.
Yeah. It's one of these things, isn't it? So I think there's a few things we want to talk about today. I think one is like the dip and how you can use agile management or sprint or whatever you want to call it, but basically focusing, getting all of the distractions away from you and focusing on getting yourself out of a dip, or focusing on the project that just needs addressing over here. And I guess the challenges of it really, and especially I think as well, the challenges of doing it remotely.
Yeah, sure. It's a really difficult challenge to try and get. We've got 14 people on our team to try and get them to work on a single project, all remotely. And yeah, it's thrown up quite a few issues. But we've done pretty well, I would think. Would you say?
Yeah. I mean, so we could talk about our experience, couldn't we? Really? I mean, we did one years ago, didn't we? Before all these agile management stuff came out, and this was all a popular thing. And even the cultural marketing side of this, really, we did an ambitious, can we build from scratch our whole website in 48 hours? And we filmed it. And man, we look really young as well.
Yeah, I wonder if I can find a clip.
Yeah, I don't think we should put a link to it because it's just too embarrassing, right?
Maybe I could put clips of everyone bar me, and that'd be fine.
Oh, fine. Yeah, okay, why not? I can be out of that as well, right? I can opt in or out of that.
We'll see. We'll see what happens in the edit.
But it was a really interesting project for us, and we managed to do it. I mean, it was some late nights, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, and it was. I think it was around 2005. Maybe I'm dreaming. 2005 to 2008, and it was a really interesting way of creating a new website. And it sort of just highlights to me how websites have changed, because in 2005, say, we were designing for one sort of screen size, and we managed to get the project out in 48 hours, just about, there or thereabouts. And now we do something, we build a bespoke website with 14 people in the team, all working hard on very tricky bits of code and interesting features. And how far through would you say we got in 48 hours?
Oh man, what, as a percentage?
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe 25%.
That's optimistic as well, isn't it?
It probably is, yeah. I mean, I guess the challenges back then were really like browsers. You know, it was very fiddly, rubbish browsers that would slow down your web development, having to deal with old versions of Internet Explorer. Whereas today the browsers are pretty good. Even the Microsoft-based ones, they're loads better than they used to be. Now obviously the complicated part of it really is all of those devices, screen sizes, different browsers, and making responsive design, work really well. So that's kind of, if you're building something from the ground up, that's kind of where some of the challenges now lie.
And the two similarities between the two projects were that we thought we were getting nowhere with a project, and maybe you have this in your business, that that is the project that always gets pushed to the side because there's always something more important. So the thing we did and the thing you can do is just stop everything else, because we're never going to get round to it. Just shut the doors and just focus on this one project. And that worked really well.
Yeah, whether you're doing your own marketing, whether you're part of a wider team, whether you're a team and you have other partners as well, a creative agency, just siloing a dedicated amount of time to achieve a certain goal is a really great way of making some ground on it. So I've got a handful of tips actually, Chris, off the top of my head.
Oh, here we go.
I know, to try and help make this work well for you. He says with a project where we only really got 25% of the way through. But I mean, the first thing really is to set a goal for that for you can call it a sprint, whatever you want to call it, but a goal for the 2 days off, if you like, or however long that thing's going to be. What do you want to try and achieve in those times? Sharing those goals with the team is really important. And don't just jump in. Plan everything you can to as much detail as you can beforehand, because you don't want to spend the first, half of the first day setting things up, setting up tasks, and use a good project management system as well. And I think, especially now with a lot of people working remotely, the project management system is going to be your savior here in a way. Or at least, if you don't have a project management system, at least a well-structured spreadsheet, something like that, something that says, hey, look, here's where we're going to put all of the issues and tasks we're going to come in, and people can opt in and pull those, almost like a ticket system, pull those tasks into their workflow. So that's what I would say. Definitely plan beforehand, brief the team, and have some central place so that people understand who's doing what.
Yeah, and I would add to that is try and make sure you never have a team of one working on part of the area of the project, because it's very easy for a single person, especially now when everyone's working remotely, to just get lost in a problem and think that they've got to solve it themselves. So if people have got other members of the team that they can lean on and just get advice from, I think that really helps.
I really like that advice, Chris. In fact, that's something we found recently across not just doing a sprint project like this, but we found that across everything we're doing, really working remotely, isn't it? This idea that some people are kind of left in isolation doing one thing, the team of one, it's something we're really trying to break down. So again, it might be worth looking at your team, your marketing team, and have you got sort of one person solely responsible for one thing and they're not able to lean on anyone, communicate back to you? I think that's where some issues can raise their heads in this remote working environment.
Yeah, and I think also when you're doing creative projects, especially, just having input from multiple sources is really good. So what we did is we started our design of the website with one person, and then a second person had a look at different elements, and then which is me, and then Matt took over, and we had Mel putting her input in, and it was really great to be able to amalgamate some of those creative ideas from all those different sources.
Yeah, and I think the product has come out really well, and we're really happy with how it's going to look. I had to be careful with my wording there.
Yeah,
how it's going to look. So yeah, I think that sort of collaboration has worked really well for us. So I guess another bit of advice as well is when you're looking at doing this, set some rules for that for the sprint days up. So our rules were switch off all external communication, set up autoresponders. We had one of our sort of lead project account managers. He was sort of, we fielded everything over to him so that none of our customers were left not being serviced. So on our autoresponder, we just sent everybody for him to look after. Now this can be challenging though, right? Because we still need to communicate with the team, and some of the team may still be working on a few other little bits over here, and that can be distracting. So what we did, we have a chat thing that we use. There's loads of different chat stuff out there. I'm sure you guys are using something. So what we did was we switched off our emails, we set up the autoresponder, and then we just silenced all of those other channels apart from the ones dedicated to this sprint. And it gives you a real focus and a goal, and lets you just try and get out of the dip or get that project done or reach to where you need to reach.
Yeah, it's really surprising how quickly you can get knocked off the path that you're walking down, and how long it takes you to pick up that bit of the project to up and focus again. It's like if someone sends you an email and you respond to it, then you sort of lose half an hour just getting back to where you were. That's that state of mind.
Yeah,
really
and I think for creatives and developers alike, that's really hard, because you kind of need to get in that zone, right? You need to get that focus. And I think it's the same for all of you guys out there. If you're working in a marketing team, sometimes you just really need that headspace and that focus and that goal. And if you're being pulled left, right, and centre and wearing 100 different hats, your day can be fragmented and it can be really challenging. In fact, I tried to do something a little while ago, just for my normal day's work actually, which was I thought, hey, I'm just gonna start checking my emails just twice a day, and focus on sort of getting a load of these tasks done. And so I switched off my email, I switched off my chat window. And I was kind of like, okay, here we go. I'm now going to go through my handful of tasks I need to achieve today. My first task was, hey, here's a couple of people that are sort of interested in working with us. I need to get in touch with them. So the first thing I did was, well, I have to open up my email. My email opens up, and then there's like 3 or 4 emails in there. So I think, well, I'm just going to quickly check those emails. And one of those is a question, and I kind of go, I could do with asking my team member about this. So then I open up my chat window, have a chat with that one. Before I know it, I'm straight off piste again. So normal working days can be challenging like that, but definitely for these dedicated days towards achieving something, that's when you have to be really strict.
So there you go. Here's your challenge for this week. Try and choose something that you've been putting off for ages, turn off all distractions, and give it a go.
Yeah, we'd love to hear how it works for you guys.
All right, we'll see you next week on another Monkey Monday.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Oh, you're there.